Welcome to Source Not Found, a podcast about the worst versions of your favorite things. Every other week, we take an IP, franchise, or fandom and look at them solely through their sequels, spin-offs, and side projects, basically anything but the source material. My name is Bo Woodall, and my immortal elixir is bourbon.
And I'm Brandon June, and I'm in horse stance. It's very good for taking a dump. Actually, I got pretty good at horse stance when I lived over there, because I did have a squatter in my apartment. And there was a squatter at the school, and most of the other toilets that I used were in the squatters. The rare day I got a Western toilet, oh, that was a good day indeed.
I have a squatty potty, which is... It's a nice thing to have.
Okay, yeah.
Wow.
But we're not talking bowel movements.
I was going to say, we're starting this one hot. Starting it off hot.
Hot, steamy dump. That's what I... spoiler alert. That's how I feel about this movie.
Oh.
But, yeah, I'm not a fan.
Oh, crumbs.
But we're going to talk about the things we do like, in addition to the things that don't. Yeah. We're doing The Forbidden Kingdom. The Monkey King adventure, the journey westward, continues.
Yeah. This week, we are talking about the 2008 film, The Forbidden Kingdom, starring Jet Li, Jackie Chan, and Michael Anger something as the main character. But the reason we're doing The Forbidden Kingdom is because it focuses very heavy on the Monkey King. So we're keeping it going strong.
We kind of use the story to a certain degree. It changes it in a lot of ways, but we got the character here. And we get some of the mythos, a little bit,
but it does do some fun stuff. You can't see his face, listeners, but he disagrees.
It does some stuff.
All right,
it's a little bit of fun.
So before we get into plot, let's cover my normal bases to make sure I got this right. Forbidden Kingdom, released April 18th, 2008. Which is weird time for a martial arts epic, quote unquote.
I don't really know when is a good time. What is the martial arts season?
Shouldn't it be like a summer blockbuster? I don't know.
Yeah,
like a martial arts epic should be like a summer film, right? Anyway,
to me, a martial arts movie is 2 p.m. on a Sunday afternoon with like a bag of sunflower seeds and like some snacks, just like a lazy afternoon. Yeah,
a healthy dose of Robitussin and some Gatorade,
or maybe like the good ones also have like a sort of midnight movie feel to them, right? Like watching them late, which is how I saw a lot of stuff as a kid, like late night, seeing like a Bruce Lee movie on TV, somewhere.
The first time I saw Enter the Dragon, it was 1:30 a.m. and it was awesome.
This would not be a movie to watch at that time. I don't know. This is a movie. Maybe don't watch it at any time.
I'm going to disagree with you, but we're not there yet.
Yeah, we're not. Go for it.
The budget was $55 million. All of that was on the screen. The US and Canada gross was only 52. And the worldwide gross was 130. Probably just due to the names of Jet Li and Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
The week of release, it was number one. It beat out Forgetting Sarah Marshall, which was also released on the same day. And then there are 3 other movies that no one cares about.
Yeah, that's my thoughts exactly.
So here's my thing. I don't know why you don't like this so much, but I feel like we should cover the basis of the story first.
Yeah.
Basically, a kid from Boston finds the staff of the Monkey King, is transported back in time, we can only assume, to become the prophesized traveler to return the staff to the petrified Monkey King and overthrow the Jade Warlord. That's basically the film. Jackie Chan is a drunken dude. Jet Li is a monk. Mulan's there.
She's good. Yeah, Monk and Monkey King, right, for Jet Li. I guess they both play dual characters.
They do both.
Before he awakens, and then we got Jackie Chan like playing the elderly owner of a pawn shop.
Hop.
Before we see him in his prime.
And then Michael Angarillo of, I don't know if anybody else watched this movie and loves it as much as I do, but of Sky High fame.
I never saw that.
Oh, bud.
I almost did just because Bruce Campbell's in it somewhere.
Bruce
right?
Campbell's in it, Kurt Russell.
But it wasn't enough.
Linda Carter.
Okay.
It's a good time.
Maybe you'll make me watch it at some point.
I probably will.
Yeah, I don't know. I fucking hated this.
Really?
I really did. Yeah.
I think it's a delight.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to be the negative Nancy over here this time. I'd seen it before in China when I was working. That was my first teaching gig, was just working at like an English cram school.
Sure.
In Hunan. And like the nature of that would be most of our work, like we did like some classes through the morning, but like most of the kids came after school and we would like work into the evenings, you know? That's like when we got most of our students because they're coming after school.
Yeah, sure.
For, like, English language immersion. So what one of my other teachers would do, starting at, 2-something p.m., he would just like play movies in like the sort of lobby area and like have them running as like kids filtered in. And then once like the bell hit, like movies off and we're all in classroom. But it was almost like an incentive, like get here early so you can see the next 10 minutes of whatever it was. And we watched a lot of movies that way. So I saw this movie in little 10-minute chunks, sort of like while being distracted, like, I don't know, passing out graded homework or like greeting kids, like
Jesus.
in the background. And usually it was like, I would see the same, like I would see 10 minutes and then the next day I would see 5 of those same 10 minutes and then we would go forward another 5 minutes. So I saw it a lot, sort of distractedly over the span of a couple weeks.
That is not how you should watch anything ever.
Actually, it was a better viewing experience than sitting down and trying to just like take it all in one.
Really?
Yeah, because I was so disinterested that like actually seeing this out of the corner of your eye distractedly and then like everyone just sort of like perks up and like, let's all watch this fight scene together and give that our full attention. And then we can just go back to like doing teacher stuff here. Cause who gives a shit about everything else? Yeah. So this is my second time watching it. My first time watching it properly. How about you?
Got some bad news.
Yeah.
Saw it in theaters.
Okay.
Liked it so much when it was released on DVD, I bought the collector's edition.
Okay.
Still
what does
own
that
it.
contain?
It has a holographic cover.
Neat. Of what?
Of just Jackie Chan and Jet Li going at each other.
Okay, that might be worth it just for that.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
That's kind of like a, I don't know, false advertising though, because there isn't a whole lot of that.
I respectfully, it feels like there's 20 minutes of them fighting each other in that temple.
I wanted more. It wasn't enough for me, but yeah, proceed. Go ahead. Sorry.
I haven't watched this movie in a while.
Mm-hmm.
But probably like 3-4 years ago.
Okay.
I would be willing to say that I've watched this movie every couple of years.
Gotcha.
I like Michael Angarello. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I could have that wrong.
Tripitakis? Well, that's a fun little Easter egg, right?
Yeah,
his last name.
yeah.
Tripitaka.
The way he pronounced his name was very Bostonian, it seemed.
And I didn't even catch it at first, actually. And then I was like, looking for like reviews and whatever. I was like, what was the kid's name again? So I can like get that down on my notes. Like, oh wait, Tripitakis. Oh, hey, that's fun.
Yeah. There's a lot of, I don't know, and like when he wakes up, he's watching Monkey.
Mm-hmm.
Our theme song right now. I enjoyed that little.
There's some fun little Easter eggs and nods.
Little Easter
stuff.
egg and nod.
I like the first few minutes. It starts with like just awesome martial arts action, like Jet Li as Monkey, just like
whipping
fighting,
ass,
doing wirework stuff. Like
he just
on
kicks
this like mystical
ass.
mountains in the clouds. Just like, yeah, this is the kind of energy I want. And then we go from that into like an opening credits with it's all like the 70s 80s like Shaw Brothers like kung fu film poster energy for like all the title cards. Like that stuff's fun, and then from there it's just like, oh right, this is what this movie is. It's not so much that, and a lot more like honestly it's like a laundry list of things I hate in terms of tropes and things in movies.
Maybe that's why I like it so much.
Yeah.
Like I also am not a super big fan of overused tropes that often, but I can handle it when I just sit down to watch a bad, like, I'm not watching this thinking this is a cinematic masterpiece on the level of Citizen
Kane. I didn't think you were. Right.
No. Yeah. Instead, I really like Jackie Chan and I really like Jet Li.
Yeah.
And
I wanted more of them.
And I like Michael Angarello. Despite the fact there are some moments in this where he is wooden at best.
I don't really fault him for anything. Like, he's fine. I don't care for what he's being asked to do. I don't want him in the movie, period. I don't want his character. I don't want any of the framing. Like, it's kind of criminal to me that we're finally getting Jackie Chan and Jet Li together on screen. Oh my God. And
they're in this weird
isekai. We found a way to like make them second fiddle to this kid's origin, like coming of age. You know what I mean? Like stepping up to fulfill the prophecy shit. Oh, well, my God. Well, not just that,
but it's also kind of an isekai, right? Like,
yeah, it is. And so, like, to get at all the things I hate, I don't like prophecies. I almost never do want to watch something where like something's prophesied to happen, you know?
Okay.
I'm usually like an out on that. Like, I'm just tired of that. It's got to be a pretty good prophecy for me to like.
What about Army of Darkness?
Pique my interest. Well, see, that's a situation. Like, it's fine if it's like
satirized.
Like, again, like, I get it. Like, you're looking at this as a bad movie, and I'm down for dumb fun. It just wasn't fun to me. I was like actually I found it very tedious and boring. Everything outside of just like the martial arts action, and a couple interactions like between, like, honestly, everything Jackie Chan's doing I like. Jet Li as well, but like, you know, he's got that scamp energy, you know, and I love it. I like them. There's stuff I like about this, but to start with the stuff I don't like, all the things that prevent it from being what it could be to me, and why I'm so disappointed by it. Like, I don't like the framing device. I don't like this. Like, we need an American kid getting sucked through time, dimension, ending up in China. I'm sick of that trope too. Like, I'm sick of like the whole fish out of water kind of thing. Like, I've just seen it so many times, right? Like, it's lazy to me. It's coasting off of the energy of, hey, look, we've got someone that, like, there's a prophecy that they're going to ascend to this. Let's watch their journey. Let's go through their training montage. Oh, they're in this culture they don't understand. They don't speak the language. Let's see what kind of hijinks ensue from that. And like, why did we need any of that? Like, I don't, like, I'm in for the stuff that's in China and the stuff that's dealing with the mythos of the Monkey King and Journey to the West. I'm there for like the martial arts action. Show me more of that. I didn't need this kid from America to focalize through. And I get it. If I saw this movie and I was like, I don't know, like 9, that would have been exactly what I need. I'm not the target demographic for this, but all I can say is, like, I know how to engage with a children's film and enjoy it if it's done in a way that, you know, captures my attention. Everything was so fucking Americanized, you know?
It was like, very, very much that.
Even the way we deal with the legend of Monkey, like, we take away a lot of the complexity of it, and it's just like, oh, it's this like personal vendetta against the Jade Warlord, you know what I mean? And we reduce it down to like this very simple story of like these two characters that need to finish what they started centuries ago, you know? It wasn't about, like, Monkey wasn't imprisoned because of being Monkey, of like causing shit, like, which if y'all aren't familiar, like, check out our last episode 28 Monkey. We get into depth on the backstory and have a good time talking about the source material. But like, that's all gone. Now it's just like, it's this personal vendetta against this one other character, and he tricked Monkey and got him, you know, turned into stone, and we need to undo that. We've lost a lot of Monkey in the process, right?
I don't know. So my only experience with Monkey thus far is this and Arthur Waley's translation and abridgment, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference in the Jade Warlord tricking Monkey and the Buddha tricking Monkey? Monkey is still tricked and basically hoisted upon his own petard, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess my thing that I actually enjoyed more watching this than I had in the past was after reading Monkey and seeing the fact that he was using his hair to clone himself.
That was fun. Yeah.
Like, that was a really, really clever touch that is pulled directly from the source material that they didn't necessarily have to use, right?
Yeah.
You can't do all of Monkey in a movie where Monkey is being rescued, right?
You can't do it all, but you could do more if you didn't decide to make this about, like, make this an isekai about a kid from America getting sucked through, you know, and delivering the staff.
Yeah.
Which I don't like. And even if we were going to do a bit of that, like, I don't know why we just didn't use, I mean, I do know why. You're trying to sell tickets to an American audience first and foremost.
Yeah.
Like, why we didn't have someone within the world, like all of the crossing time boundary stuff. I don't know why we need that. I really don't. Like, why didn't we just do an organic, like, in-universe story here about an origin story of, I don't know, like some kid in training, some monk within the culture, and like we could cut out a lot of that other stuff, you know?
Because then it would make, like, even less money in America.
Yeah. To your point, like, I guess it's just like we're reducing this to like, here's a villain, he tricked Monkey, we have to undo what was done. It wasn't about like, well, no, like, he's at fault for a lot of this, and the Buddha's not a villain in Journey to the West, right? Like, when Monkey gets punished, it's like he had that shit coming, kind of. You know,
definitely.
Like, here
Yeah.
It's reductive, and again, it's what the movie chooses to be, you know. And like, we could make time and could give energy to these other things and make them more interesting and more fun, and instead we spend, you know, all this time like, hey, we got a kid being bullied in the streets, and he's into kung fu films, but you know, we got to do all that as a setup, and then we got to bring him back to his own world at the end.
This is mid to late aughts, like, yeah. That's kind of part and parcel. But so kind of a question.
Yeah.
Do you think an Americanized version of a film like this, ignoring the fact that, like, we want to take out the isekai, we want to take out what they're trying to do to sell tickets, do you think we could have had the screen time to make a complex relationship between a character like Monkey and someone who wouldn't necessarily be a villain, like the Buddha?
I think you could establish a lot of stuff in like a few minutes of exposition at the front if you wanted to start with that, you know, and then cut out some of this other stuff. I think we could establish better roles for everybody and like give a little bit more time. I don't think it would take much. It's not like the deepest story there, right? Like, there's a lot of events that unfold, but I think putting more focus on, honestly, I wanted more focus on Jet Li and Jackie Chan and like their characters. I wanted them to be my protagonists. I didn't really want the kid. I didn't want any of that. I would have loved to have seen more focus devoted to like their reformation, like Journey to the West does, is a story about those characters being reformed. And instead, like, that's happening. They are like ascending, right? We're waking up monkeys, so to speak. But the real focus is, but this kid is finally stepping up as prophecy foretold. He is the chosen one. I also think, like, I did go through some reviews, and some people found this kind of offensive, and I kind of get that. You know, I understand what it is. I'm not going to dwell too much on like it being an Americanized version of it. It's sure, that happens, you know. It is an American film. But like, why do we have like a white American kid as the chosen one in China? You know what I mean? Like, why are we making these choices? Why are we doing that? You know? And I get it. It's like, you want to, like, this is a movie made for American kids, I guess it is.
So that's a question I actually had for you. Is it? Because there's a lot of fucking murder in this movie.
That's the thing. I don't know. Like, who is this for?
Because Golden Sparrow, like, straight up throws knives in people's throat holes and murks them hard.
Yeah, and you get a little more blood than you would expect. I really don't know who this movie's for. Like, as an adult, I'm like, oh, yeah, the reason I'm not getting it is because it's for kids. But the more I watch it, like, is it, though? It seems like it's not really for anybody. Like, anyone in particular. It's, like, trying to do too many things.
Yeah.
It's trying to be like an all-ages kind of, like, family entertainment experience. But, again, it's like, what is the big selling point of this movie? To me, it would be like, man, getting Jackie Chan and Jet Li on screen, working together, and, like, doing what they do. And, like, yeah, they've made a lot of family entertainment. Well, Jackie Chan more so, really. Like, and that's how that's how I first knew him, I guess, through Rush Hour, really, as a kid, seeing that. Got me to be a fan.
Rumble in the Bronx for me.
Yeah, I didn't see that. That was R.
Yeah,
so I didn't see that till
I
later.
caught it late night HBO.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, I mean, to your point there, right? Like, that's why I'm a fan. Like, after the fact, like, seeing when they're in their element, like, it's adult entertainment. It's violent martial arts filmmaking. And like you mentioned, the temple scene, like, I wanted a lot more of that. I wanted them, like, I would have loved some story where they're at odds and, you know, antagonists to one another through, like, the bulk of the film, and we get a lot more, like, conflict, and then maybe at the end, like, I don't know, one of them is, I don't really know what roles exactly, but I would love to have seen, like, more fighting between them, and then, like, maybe at a final pivotal moment, they're on the same side.
They work together
alongside one another, but some way to just, like, contrive, I don't care if it's contrived, like, if you're getting them fighting one another and seeing their styles and, like, the way they approach their martial arts and the personality they bring to the screen, you know, their different ways of, like, having a screen presence, and how that is communicated through the styles that they show off. Like Jackie Chan is, like, the lovable scamp, drunken master, just, like, stumbling around, you know. Jet Li more is, like, the stoic, straight-laced warrior in this, right?
Right.
Until he becomes Monkey, and then he's, you know, scampering around as well. But, you know, I just, like, I kept thinking about, like, all the things we could have done. We got these guys. We got them. We're doing it. They're here together. That's so exciting. And then we just spent all this time, like, with all this other horse shit. And it's really frustrating. I didn't want any of it, you know?
I don't know, man. I guess there's still a part of me that is such a giant fan of the fish out of water isekai origin story. Like, maybe there's still, like, this part of me in the back of my head that sees it as kind of escapism. Because you know that, you know, 14-year-old Bo was like, fuck, man, I would love to go to China and get trained by a drunken master and a silent monk, and there'd be Golden Sparrow there teaching me how to throw knives and play a musical instrument, and I'd be saving the world by helping the Monkey King out. Like,
I get that. I do. I don't know that I can really say it's a criticism of those things. When I said, like, this is a list of things I hate, it is personal preference. But for me, I generally don't like those kind of framing devices. I don't want this out of culture character to focalize through that's bringing me into the world. I just want to be thrown into worlds. I want to be fully immersed in a world, in a fantasy environment. I don't usually want some link back to reality. I just want to be in it. That's, like, what I prefer. Like, I am the audience member being brought into this world. Just, like, build it around me. Throw me in.
So things like a kid in King Arthur's court, or...
Yeah. I never really, as a kid, I didn't like those kind of experiences. Even, like, I loved the Neverending Story as a kid just because I loved the fantasy world, but give me the Dark Crystal over that any day. Like, just drop me in and build the atmosphere. Like, right from the get-go. I guess the carve-out is Labyrinth. I love Labyrinth, but we do have that going on. But we give Labyrinth a pass because it's perfect.
That's fascinating.
It's personal preference.
Not the Labyrinth thing. I agree with you.
Just to say, like, it's a list of things I don't like, and then on top of that, I'm looking at missed opportunities, and on top of that, like, the martial arts action was good, but I was very bored by everything else, you know. Other than, I mean, we can get some stuff that I liked. There's stuff I liked. There's fun stuff here.
I had a great time, except for the Jade Warlord. I feel like that could have been done better.
He's not anything.
He's
just bad because he's bad.
He's bad because he's bad. He apparently is taking advantage of women because he can, killing people because he can. disobeying the Jade Emperor because the dude rests for 500 years at a time or whatever. To your point, I think it would have been more fun to have the Jade Emperor be the bad guy, but not because he's entirely antagonistic, just because he's so separated and apathetic. Like, I would have been fine with that. But
here's some stuff I liked.
Okay. I'm excited to hear
Here's
these
some
things.
stuff I liked. I mentioned before, I love these guys. I do, both of them. And I'm a big fan of a lot of their movies. But I hadn't watched a Jackie Chan film in a while, and man, he's just so much fun. That's the thing. I dislike this movie. I dislike the movie around him, but everything that he brings to it is 10 out of 10 to me. Like,
yeah,
just
I agree completely.
The first scene of him showing up, just riding ass backwards on a donkey or whatever, like slipping off drunkenly and then doing his drunken master stuff. Like, yes, this is more, please. I wanted more of that. And as like a mentor character as well, so much fun. I just like the very first scene of them going to the inn and him getting all his wine, right? And then basically dining and dashing, right? Like, he's like, you got this, right? Looking to the kid, like, and he pulls out the American money, and it's like causing a disturbance.
In some places, they call me a scholar. In other places, they call me a beggar. And then it passes the check over to old boy.
And then he turns to the kid. He's like, how good is your kung fu? And the kid's just like exasperated, like, he who speaks does not know. He who knows does not speak. Surely you are masterful.
Yeah.
It's a very good, fun line.
There's my favorite line.
Yeah.
Because you brought up Jackie Chan as teacher, where he's just beating the hell out of plants. He's like, teach me kung fu. And he walks over, he goes, you want to learn kung fu? Okay. Bap! That is strike. Tomorrow you learn block. And walks away.
That's a good one, too.
And it's just, God, the delivery is perfect. The line is good. That's just good shit.
Yep. They're meeting in this is I was looking for trivia. I didn't know. There's like some things, as soon as they meet in the temple, they have such a chemistry together, Jackie Chan and Jet Li.
Yeah.
And it almost took me by, like, it made me like second guess, like, oh, was this the first time they were on screen together? Maybe they've worked together before, I guess. They had to have by this point, because they're just so natural with one another. And it's like, yeah, you're having this moment of like meeting of these two greats, you know? And you feel it in that moment. And there's like this, when they're first meeting and Liu looks at, shit.
I think he's just the monk. I don't think he actually has a name.
Did I forget his name? Yeah, I was thinking like Monkey eventually, but just, okay, so Monk. Liu looks at Monk. So where are you from? Shandong province? You look like the Shandong province type. And I was looking at some Chinese maps, like, is this? I looked up Jet Li's background. He's from Beijing.
Also known as Peking. Yeah.
Per our, we've more historical fun trivia like that.
Please see previous episode.
It is like, it's all in that same general area though. Shandong is like not that province, but it's like right there. It's like, is this? I don't know. Is there like some joke here that it made me wonder, like, I don't know. I didn't know, but there was like stuff like that, you know? It was like these fun little stuff that made me wonder, and then like outright like fun references throughout as well. I got a kick out of some of the video game stuff. Like the kid's got a Dreamcast in his bedroom.
Yeah, he did.
Love that.
I saw that.
But when he's like talking to Liu, he's like, there's a guy in Virtua Fighter 2 that does the Buddha palm technique and the iron elbow. And I love that. But then I was also thinking like, dude, Virtua Fighter 2? I saw the Dreamcast. You're not on that Virtua Fighter 3 TV? Come on. Virtua Fighter 3, my man.
Dude, he has to get secondhand kung fu movies from a pawn shop. He can't afford the newest video games.
He's got the Dreamcast though, and I think an N64. I saw an N64 controller. I was trying to like I freeze frame, like I think I see an N64 next to it on the shelf. At first I was like, oh, they're just like throwing video game shit in there. They don't care. But then I saw, oh, no, we do have a Dreamcast controller. I think we got an N64 as well. So he's got multiple consoles, is all I'm saying.
So along with what you just said, one of my favorite parts of this movie, maybe my favorite part of this movie, and one of my favorite parts of a lot of martial arts movies I've ever seen is in this movie. And it's where they are fighting each other and they're changing their fighting styles to combat the other person.
So good.
It made me feel like Jackie Chan and Jet Li were like talking about the choreography, and they're like, oh, so you want to do praying mantis? Okay, if you do praying mantis, I'm going to jump in with tiger. And then, oh, you're going to hit me with that, with eagle? Well, I'm going to come at you with crane. So that'll be really cool. Like, it's just... that entire sequence is so good.
Praying mantis, very good for catching bugs, but not tigers. You know, like, and then just like, yeah, again, I just wanted that for an hour and a half. I wanted, like, that temple scene is one of the best parts of the movie to me. Like, them going at each other, their full personality on display on screen, what they're able to do as martial artists. It was so much fun. And like, to me, that's the climax of the movie. That's the high point. After that, like, there's just like a lot of like CG or like lazy, just like none of the martial arts stuff is lazy. It's all like good, well choreographed, you know? But narratively, you know, it's like, okay, at the last moment at the like the 11th hour, we're about to die, and all the monks rush in, and you know, they're smacking people around. It's like, there wasn't much to any of that, you know? I've seen this so many times before. I did like
the Jade Warlord busting out I think it's a Guandao with the weighted rings on it to fight Monk.
That was cool. Yeah.
Like,
the combat is good.
The combat in this movie is well done. But yeah, it's not something that I'm going to watch on a regular basis. Like, this is not a movie I will revisit every 6 months to a year, but I have a good time with it.
I can see why. Yeah.
There's like a childhood escapism that's still there.
Like I said, if I had seen this as a child, I think I would have been really into it, you know?
Yeah.
It would have hit probably for me. Even though, like, it's not, like I said, as a kid, I preferred stuff that didn't have framing devices and any sort of tie to reality. I just wanted to be fully, like, my escapism for me is like truly escape. I don't want to be reminded of the world I'm in. I want to be fully in this other world, this other culture, this other dimension or whatever as a viewer. But I see all that. I think, I don't know, like the tone of it, right? I'm not even against the tone. Like, we want to have some goofy fun. I'm all in on that, like a Stephen Chow movie, right? Like, do we want to do Kung Fu Hustle? But if so, we got to get truly goofy with it and be inventive throughout. And I just felt like the martial arts stuff is good, and we get that fun, that way of like them interacting with their environments and like displaying their prowess on screen. But then in between that, like, none of the narrative and none of the other set piece moments had that level of energy. Like, there was nothing inventive about it. It was all pretty stock shit. You know, even like the emotional beats of the movie, I kept feeling like, all right, I just want to like skip to the end, like maybe put this on fast forward until the next like action moment. And I shouldn't feel that way in a movie that has so much rich lore and narrative opportunity. You know what I mean? You have a lot to pull from here, and I just felt, again, I try and judge a movie what it is, not what it could be, but when I can't help but wonder about that the entire time I'm watching it, you know, like, oh, but if we started here with like the temple stuff, if we cut out 30 minutes of all the other stuff, we would have had time for all sorts of fun.
Yeah.
And it was just, again, it's such an opportunity to get these two greats on screen together. And I felt like at the end of, when the credits rolled, like, man, we should have done a lot more. Especially, like, I was reading a little bit of trivia, and they were talking, like, Jackie Chan was like, it was so great to work with him. It was like so easy, because usually I'm working with like Chris Tucker or somebody, or like I'm working with an actor and we have to do the same thing 10 times to get it right.
Yeah, I saw that.
And this was like, it was so natural. Like, we're at the peak of our abilities, you know, and it just works. I don't know. All I got is, we still got the pee-pee jokes from Monkey. That's a good scene, right? Like him wetting the brush and writing the characters, and like you think, oh my God, he's like mystically, like magically made rainfall, and then no, he's getting pissed on by Monk.
Did you notice that he is a Taoist immortal?
Yeah, I did.
And that's why Monkey pees on him, maybe?
it was instinctual. We got to piss on the Taoists.
So, okay. We've talked about the movie. I think plenty. How did you feel about how Monkey was portrayed? Ignore the movie itself, like,
sure.
and how like it worked, but the character of Monkey himself.
I think Jet Li is a phenomenal monkey. That's what I mean. Like, that initial scene, like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't have watched this in little 5 to 10 minute chunks, like while teaching or like getting ready to teach. Like, maybe I'm going to really like this, because I do. Whenever he's Monkey, like, he can do that character well, and he looks the part. He looks good in the monkey.
Yeah,
getup.
the costuming and makeup design was very, very good.
I like their take on Monkey. I do. I like how they make him look in this movie. Yeah. And again, it's like we've got him locked away for the bulk of the movie until the very end, which is that is a fine choice. But when you see, like, oh man, he's so good in that role.
Yeah,
just a little bit more. Yeah, I thought he was great. How about you?
I agree. I liked the fact that they pulled some things directly from source, like using the hairs as clones, and at one point, especially at the end of the movie, he makes his cudgel dance without even having to control it. Like, I wish we could have seen a little bit more, like maybe a transformation, or maybe him turning the cudgel into a needle and putting it behind his ear. Like, something silly and little like that would have. But again, nobody else is going to know that shit. Like we just read Monkey. Like, an American viewer is not going to be like, but he didn't change the size of his meteoric or cudgel. What the fuck? Sort of thing. I was, both when I first saw this movie and when I watched it for this episode, I was surprised at how well Jet Li can be whimsical.
Yeah. Because he's not like a immediate, like,
he is not a comedic actor
to play Monkey.
Like, I would assume Jackie Chan would be Monkey,
right? But
Jet Li has this, like, he turns on a little bit of the scamp energy, and he does the pointing and the, like, it's pretty well done.
It's kind of the inverse of, now I'm thinking it because I mentioned Kung Fu Hustle, of that movie where you have, like, basically like a monkey-like scamp of a character, and at the end he ascends to master status and becomes very stoic suddenly, Yeah. And then this, you have a very different journey of, like, you got the more stoic Jet Li, although he's goofy throughout, I guess. He has moments. I mean, he's pissing on Lou, and
Monk is Monkey, like, through the whole thing.
But, like, restrained, it comes out. You can see it's there below the surface. Yeah, but then definitely. He's still, like, he's in this role. It's like, well, he's our straight guy. In this group, at least, like, he's the most stoic one. He's leading the group with, like, calm, collected demeanor.
Definitely.
Yeah, it is a fun dynamic. Man, there is a lot of stuff I like. There's a lot of stuff that could have been so much better. I even like Swallow.
I like her a lot.
I like Swallow. Yeah,
I was unaware that she played live action Mulan. I was like, damn. I
forgot that. Yeah, I
didn't.
I think I forgot Mulan. Honestly, I forgot
the live action one.
Yeah, I watched it, but a lot of it didn't stick. It
was pretty good. It's fine.
Yeah, I think it's probably the best of the live action Disney. I don't want to get on a tangent. I'm so negative. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be.
You are a negative Nancy today.
I don't. When I don't like something, sometimes and stuff hits me in a certain way, I really don't like it.
So I have two small facts for you. These are not this is not trivia corner shit. This is just some shit that surprised the hell out of me.
Yeah.
The guy who directed this also directed The Lion King.
All right.
The animated Disney The Lion King.
Oh, the animated one?
Yes.
Oh, never mind. At first I was about to say that checks out.
No,
it doesn't.
Possibly I don't know. Some people consider The Lion King, S tier when it comes to Disney films.
Yeah, I would say for sure for me. If that's not S tier, I don't know what would be.
And the guy who wrote the movie apparently writes a lot of horse movies.
Yeah,
he wrote a lot of like the Spirit movies, and he also wrote Hidalgo.
Those are animated.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What was the second one?
Hidalgo, with Viggo Mortensen.
I don't know this
where it's
one.
a horse race. It's actually fine. It's not good. I mean, if you ever have, I know you don't, but if you ever had a weekend or a day where it's just like, I got nothing going on, I'll fix myself a coffee or something and turn on Hidalgo. But apparently he just writes a fuck ton of horse movies. Okay. So we've got horse movies and Lion King, and it ends up being The Forbidden Kingdom.
All the animals are here. Now we've done monkeys. Just, yeah.
And also, we've talked about this stereotype before several times. We can agree that the main character in this movie, Jason... One more time? How did he pronounce his last? What?
I don't know how he pronounced it. I don't remember. Wasn't it Tripatakis?
Tripatakis or Tripopolis? He said.
I can only think of Tripitaka because of the
I think it was Tripatakis or Trichotopus.
I couldn't remember he was named Jason, so I kept calling him the kid. Like, I don't know. He was.
I think he said, "My name is Jason Tripatakis from Boston." Anyway,
yeah, okay.
He buys swords at malls, right? Like he is next level a mall ninja kid.
He could if he didn't spend all his money immediately on DVDs at the pawn shop. He doesn't have enough money saved up for a sword. Or Virtua Fighter 3. He's still playing that Virtua Fighter 2 because he's buying DVDs.
That Buddha palm method.
I was surprised, like, this kid that's like that into kung fu and he doesn't have anything. Like, I thought maybe if you're gonna have this character, like, well, he's gone through some martial arts. Like, I don't know, he found like the local Taekwondo.
I was gonna say,
at the very least,
when I watched Enter the Dragon for the first time, I went and did a Taekwondo class for 6 years.
Like, how is he not doing anything? He shows up with nothing. He just watches the movies, which, I get. Like, I just watch the movies.
He did mention it's only his mom. So maybe he's got to pick up a job. Maybe he's trying to help take care. I don't. This is a lot of fucking. This is a generous read, man.
Like in the initial scene with the bullies, I kept expecting him to try something, to try and move, but he hasn't practiced it enough and it falls flat and he gets his ass handed to him. But he doesn't have anything. You know what I mean? Ready to go.
Yeah,
he just takes it.
Also, where did that bully learn how to fight?
Yeah, he gets really good at the end, right?
Yeah, like real
tricks.
fast. And he just does like a spin sidekick in the beginning too. Like,
maybe he hit his noggin on the way down. Like, the whole thing for a second, like, oh, was it a dream? It isn't, but it's almost like played that way when he wakes up, in the alley or whatever at the end of the movie.
Yep.
Like, maybe the bully also slipped on something and had a little dream too. And he went somewhere and learned some tricks.
With that.
Some bully tricks. Maybe maybe his isekai was like over with the Jade Emperor. But he woke up too early. We didn't get to see him.
Hop Lou.
I guess. I don't know. Like, what are they? Right? I don't know.
I don't know. I just thought
it's like they
I thought it'd be a fun question to ask Brandon. Jesus. I just thought it'd be fun. God.
No, sorry. I don't know. Like, they don't know. They don't know, right?
No one fucking knows, dude.
Like, he's there. Like, I've seen this. Like, we do this a lot. Like, hey, it's that actor. Oh, what is it? What does this mean? What does this imply? Well, I don't know. You can think about it though.
They didn't
because like she's there too. Swallow's there too, right? She was watching the whole thing because she works across the street
at a Golden Swallows, Chinese merchandise emporium or whatever.
So she's been like she's been reincarnated or reborn in the modern age.
That was my guess by like the Jade Emperor saying her destiny has been written by her own hand. Like maybe he's giving her a second chance in Old Boy's world.
Which why? Do you think is that where her soul wanted to go?
Because
like, I was really invested in my life, but I met this kid for a couple of days. We traveled together, and I liked him so much that I'm going to choose to wait several centuries to be reborn.
Because eventually Jason would like to be laid, all right? Like, that's what it is.
Exactly. Yeah, like I can't wait to get over there and work across the street.
Yeah.
The Golden Swallows. Again, that's my, like, going back to the point of, like, everything is, hey, we got this kid. It's the American kid. He's the prophecy. He's the chosen one. And it's all his experience. It's all about him, not about this lush, interesting world and all these wonderful characters around him. They're all set dressing for his coming of age story. And I don't like that choice. I would take her over him any day. You know, I would take anybody. Any character. They were more interesting to me.
I wanted more of the witch.
She was cool.
That's all I got for her.
Yeah. She flipped around. Yeah, it was neat. I
don't have a trivia corner for this one. There wasn't
much there. I really
much
didn't
there.
like this one.
I enjoyed the hell out of it. But I'm a broken man.
It also might be like I'm such a big fan, as you know, of Journey to the West. That's why we're doing it this month. Like, it's my choice. Like, this is the thing. Like, I wanted to do this exploration of the Monkey King character and do a lot in the lead up to Black Myth Wukong. And most of the stuff in this exploration are my choices. And this is the one, like, hey.
Yeah, this was my choice. And I'm going to tell you this. The reason I chose it was not just because I like the movie, but it was because I remembered Jet Li being so fucking cool as Monkey.
He is, yeah. And just for that, it was worth revisiting, I guess. Really, when you break it down, I've probably seen this movie like, I don't know, 15, 16 times.
I was going to say it was a lot.
For the span of 2 weeks.
Yeah, you've probably seen it about as many times as I have.
Yeah. But I have, there's been so many adaptations, right? And like, oh, I would definitely rather watch like the Stephen Chow version or, and it's not the same movie. That's the thing. This movie makes a lot of choices I don't care for. So if I were just to see this, it probably wouldn't make me want to seek out the source material. But I have, and having that experience, like, I guess it makes me even more negative towards it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've really tried my best. I tried to pull out all the things I liked. And there is stuff I like.
We've kind of talked about stuff like this before, where like you're going to have pretty hardcore bias towards something you love whenever it's Americanized and bastardized in this way, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. Those are my thoughts. I looked for some other thoughts. You want?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'd love to hear. I have no trivia for this one. I watched the blooper reel to see if maybe there was something there, and it looks like they had a lot of problems with horses. So many horse problems, dude. Like, especially Sparrow. She could not get her horse to like her for the life of her.
I don't think these were good reviews. I liked the headings though. Mine splatteringly disappointing. I think that's a good one.
That's not bad.
But this one's a little bit better. Well, it's better than a saucepan full of stale pretzels.
Why would you put stale pretzels in a saucepan?
I have so many questions, but it is a very evocative image.
It is. It's also very confusing.
Yeah, I was very confused by that. I don't know what to make of it, but I think it is better. I don't know. I wouldn't want to eat my pretzels out of a pan, but like, is the stove on?
A saucepan is a pot. Like, it is a pot with a handle.
So are we like reducing these down, like stale pretzels, to like make some sort of
pretzel slurry?
Yeah. But then I don't know. Like, if you were to do that and then let it harden, do you have just like a big old like pretzel cookie? You're just, like if you let it dry, let it harden.
No, you have hardtack. That's what pirates had to eat across the fucking Atlantic.
I think it's probably better than that.
It's The Forbidden Kingdom, better than hardtack. Quote by Brandon June.
Yeah. There was like I did see a couple that kind of shared my sentiment, like they think it's derogatory to Chinese culture, or like Chinese viewers that were offended by its choices. People that were disappointed by not using Jackie Chan or Jet Li to their full potential.
All of those things I can not only understand but agree with. Yeah.
Let's see. Let's find. Here's a 9 out of 10. Best action movie I've ever seen besides Enter the Dragon. Now you're positive on it, but
I'm not that positive on it. Damn.
That's pushing it a little bit. There's a one phrase in here that I really like. I've heard good things about this movie from my friends, but I've never gave it a chance. I watched it one night at a party with some friends, and I had several doubts about it. The start of the movie was terrible and far-fetched, and the location wasn't very friendly either. A pawn shop in the bad side of town. When Jason finds the staff after getting chased by goons, he falls off a building and gets transported to the Forbidden Kingdom. Then it got real. It hit the fan. The setting was beautiful and mystical. I recommend this movie for all action movie lovers. One more thing. Don't watch this in an action movie marathon. It will be never ending and it will take forever. Good movie. Enough said.
Wait, what? Okay, wait. Hang on. No.
Hang on. Setup, like, yeah, okay.
Okay. An action movie marathon is supposed to be not never ending and last forever. It's a marathon. It's a fucking marathon. What does he mean?
I don't know what you wanted out of that.
And this is not a long movie.
It's not like an hour and a half, was it?
It's an hour and 44 minutes.
40, yeah, okay.
And that's including the credits. So it's like right at an hour. It's like right at 100 minutes.
It actually felt kind of long to me, but
of course it did.
It's but I guess because we do have the setup, right? He's like watching it. They're watching it with their friends. So I guess we're to take like this was watched within a marathon. Was that marathon Enter the Dragon in this? Maybe that's the only two they've seen.
But then it wouldn't last forever because Enter the Dragon is like 86 minutes. That movie is a clip.
I just like the phrase "it hit the fan" as a positive. Like,
yeah,
I wasn't sold on this movie with like the wire work shit at the beginning. It was too far-fetched.
I loved it when it hit the fan.
It just fucking hit the fan and didn't let up. Shit everywhere.
all that shit hit the fan, and I loved it. There I was, a Taoist monk drawing on a piece of paper so that shit would fall on me, and it did from the fan.
Jeremy Brewer won from February 12th, 2012. Oh, God. He's more on my side.
Jeremy Brewer won? Man, he must have gotten that name early.
The one and only. 6 out of 10, so he's more on my side of the spectrum. Loose the imagination, Loose, loose it up, loosen it, get ready for a ride.
It's going to hit the fan.
Warning, spoilers. This movie had way too much imagination in it. You can't have a guy who looks like a monkey suddenly defeat so many people. I don't know what it is with these foreign movies, but there's too much flying around. It's like they make a movie where gravity doesn't exist. There's nobody that can drink as much alcohol as Jackie Chan and still be able to keep your balance to fight people. It also contained too much drama as well. Seems like these movies always have too much drama. Just forget the drama and bring in more action, since it states it is an action movie. The other thing is that you cannot just find any doofus, show them a couple of moves, and then suddenly they know everything about fighting. To know the moves they showed, it would take a lot of training and complaining to figure it out. Also, how that guy that just suddenly appeared somewhere else and meet these many people from the past, or else there's no telling what would be happening right now.
No wonder he's the one and only Jeremy Brewer. You're my one and only Jeremy Brewer, bud. Good job.
I don't know. Let's maybe end with like a positive one. I have a one positive one.
Before that, yeah. I do have one brief question based on Mr. Brewer's comments. How long do you think they were traveling?
Yeah, they were on a long journey. It was like months long, right?
I assumed at least several months to possibly even a year or two, because by the time it was over, he had a ponytail.
Yeah, right.
His hair had grown out like at least 6 months to a year.
But when you're the chosen one, and the body, like, it just responds to your training suddenly. It sort of diverts resources to the back of the head and starts.
Your ponytail grows just so fast.
Yeah,
so
it knows
fast.
Like, so yeah, Mall Swords guy with ponytail for
Yeah.
sure. It's like, well, we were always meant to get here. We were just waiting for the right moment. But now that you have ascended, hell yeah.
But I mean, like, if you were training, 8 to 10 hours a day with masters for a year, I mean,
no, it's too much imagination.
Too much imagination. Too much. No one can drink that much and still have balance. I beg to differ. And why does this monkey kick so much ass?
I don't know. Okay, let's end with one. I think this is a positive, but I don't know if they're doing a bit. Maybe you can weigh in.
All right.
This is the nature of IMDb. Sometimes, like, oh, this is satire, but then no, I don't know. I really don't know, right? It kind of reminds me of a certain review. I think this was Sahara, right? It was the best movie ever because it had characters and a plot and a climax.
Yeah. Good
10 out of
times.
10. Props to John Fusco. What a script! By a different drummer, December 1st, 2013. Warning, spoilers.
Of course.
Other reviewers have covered the fact that you have two of the top martial artists of all time in this extraordinary film, and that's fine, but OMG, what a story! You will have to look very long and very hard to find another script this well structured, from the opening where the bully is established in present time, to the introduction of the mysterious artifact, to the time travel, ancient grudge, aligning of the good versus bad forces, subplot on the immortals, subplot on hero learning to fight, taught by the best, possible romantic arc, but with impediment. Well, you get the point. This story keeps you glued to the screen for its entire length, and not even Lord of the Rings could pull that off. I especially love the ending, because against all odds, it ties together a bunch of loose ends that seemed impossible to clean up. Return to the present time, dealing with the bullies, the impossible romance that may not actually be impossible. IMDb tells me that Fusco was a high school dropout. If so, this raises serious doubts about the value of high school. I looked at his other work, trying to see anything that came close to this, and all I found was Crossroads, 1986, which had some really nice elements, but nothing as powerful as this script. Wow. Nothing less than a 10, and you can find another film like it anywhere. I will eat the DVD cover. I think if you can find another film like it anywhere, I will eat the DVD cover. We had a little typo there.
I thought he was talking about Crosswords, the movie with Britney Spears.
That was my thought as well. Don't sell the date.
I was like, well, all right, I get it. I get it now, man.
I don't know. Is that genuine? Is that it? I think I want to take it as.
I think it is
earnest. Yeah, I think so. Oh,
that's cute.
It is. I wanted to end on a positive. So yeah, look, Lord of the Rings. Come on.
Fuck Lord of the Rings. You don't get to go back in time and have a staff and stuff.
Romantic art with impediment. Yeah, just that impediment over there of like her being an immortal elf, basically, and him being immortal with a limited lifespan. But that's like small potatoes. Like, this is the real shit.
Get out of here.
This is like, yeah, this is the real impediment over here.
The real impediment is my parents died and I have a revenge like thing going on.
It was amazing how they timed that. Like, they tied that up at the end, with all these other subplots. Tied it up
so well by giving her a baby tea and some Aeropostale jeans and a white belt.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's not a good movie, but I have fun with it.
Yeah.
That's where I live.
I think this is I really didn't want it to be. I was like, if you're 10, I think give it a watch. But that's like so condescending, and I don't mean it to be. I think it's the look you're giving me right now.
Hey,
it would be a great
Hey, if you're a baby, you can watch this fucking movie. Otherwise, don't bother. Get out of here.
I give this 4 out of 5 jingling keys. It's really going to like distract you. There's going to be stuff on screen that's bright and flashy, and every once in a while it might get your attention.
I don't know why I just made a fucking like hand gesture. No one can see that shit.
He's jangling invisible keys.
This is an audio format, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
I think you can keep this one forbidden. I'm gonna stay outside the gates of the kingdom.
Fine, it'll be my kingdom.
I'm moseying on.
Damn
I'm
it.
going farther west, which we are. We're gonna keep on rolling west. So
Keep rolling west.
We're not stopping here. Next up, I think we're doing some Dragon Ball stuff.
Yeah.
Another interpretation of the Monkey King.
Can't wait. Looking forward to it.
This is going to be where you condescend to me like, oh, yeah, this would be good if I'd watched it on Cartoon Network when I was 9.
You and I both know I am a like just a man child. I'm probably going to have the best time watching Dragon Ball.
What we're going to say. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to do some Dragon Ball. We're going to do some Black Myth.
Mm-hmm.
Very much looking forward to that as well. If you're a patron, or if you would like to become a patron, we did a new Phobia-goria episode this month.
Mm-hmm.
The Ring scared the hell out of me when I was a kid. So we watched it. We revisited it to see if it still gives me nightmares and makes me cry in my sleep and when I'm awake.
Spoiler alert, if you didn't have enough of my negativity today, oh well, we got another helping.
Yep.
It's a deep well.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. You're a ass.
Yeah. Speaking of patrons, it's that time of the month. It's that time of the journey west. Yeah, I caught what I was doing, but you've done it before, and so it happens. Shout outs. We love you. We really do. Y'all keep us going and keep us validated when we say shit like that, and it means the world.
Just the look on your face.
Shout out to
you're fine.
13th Horseman, Jacob Spindell, Susie Daggs, Joey Bishop, and Frederick Viberg Vorhog.
Friendship.
You rule.
Oh, fuck. It is that time of the month. Oh, Lord. I don't know why that made me giggly. Housekeeping stuff. Email us. sourcenotfoundpod@gmail.com. You know what it is. All the socials. Source Not Found Podcast. Our YouTube. Source Not Found.
Mm-hmm. Archives of the show and playthroughs of games we've covered.
Yep.
Are up there.
Yep.
We got Enslaved Journey to the West, or Odyssey to the West, I'm sorry, to coincide with our exploration here. Not talking about it on the show, but I've played it to just help us fully immerse ourselves in as much Monkey King stuff as possible. And Black Myth Wukong on the way as well. Lots of that playthrough going up as I play it on the YouTube, so swing on by. Or come on by to my Twitch channel where I'm doing it live. You can come hang out and give me your thoughts on the game or Forbidden Kingdom. Did I have a bad take?
Yes.
You want to set me straight? I got people setting me straight about Starship Troopers continually. Ever since.
Good.
It's just people coming by live telling me that I'm wrong. So
that makes me so happy. I mean, I'm sorry if you're being abused by people, but
I don't mind. I love hearing. So yeah, come on by and share your hot take, your not so hot take, your tepid take, your cold take. I don't care. I take them all.
Any of those takes, come at me.
Yeah, twitch.tv/LeJuneBug. Link down in the show notes.
And as always, thank you for listening. Join us next time for more Monkey King action. And check your toilets for any Freddy Kruegers and watch out for any Monkey Kings in those white vans.
Do that horse stance so that when Freddy Krueger's hand pops out of the toilet, he can't reach you because you're hovering up too high.
It's good. It's good for pooping.
That was a lesson. What was the lesson of the movie? Stay drunk?
Definitely.